You might not notice it at first. A misstep here. A shaky rise from your favorite chair. But here's the truth no one really talks about. When your body starts to slow down, your legs are often the first to send the warning. And if you're over 60, that weakness, it's not just about aging. It's about what's missing from your plate. Now, I know that sounds a little scary, but it's actually great news. Because once you know what's causing your legs to weaken, and more importantly, what to eat to keep them strong, you've already taken the first step towards staying mobile, independent, and full of life. You see, many people think leg strength comes only from exercise, but the real foundation, it's what you're feeding your muscles every day. If your legs are feeling stiff, weak, or just not as dependable as they used to be, you're not alone. And no, it's not your fault. You're just not being told the full story. So today, we're going to change that. In this video, we're diving into 7 simple foods that can help keep your legs strong, steady, and ready for anything, whether it's chasing grandkids around the yard or just going for a peaceful walk in the morning sun. These are everyday foods you might already have in your kitchen, but used the right way, they can become powerful tools to rebuild strength from the inside out. So let's not waste a minute. The first food I want to talk about may already be on your breakfast table, but chances are you're not using it to its full potential. Let's talk about eggs. Now I know, eggs have had a bad rap over the years. First, they were good. Then, too much cholesterol. Then, good again. It's enough to make your head spin. But here's what matters for your legs. Eggs are one of the best sources of high-quality protein, and protein is essential for muscle strength. Especially as we age, our bodies don't use protein as efficiently, which means we need more just to maintain what we already have. And that includes the muscles in your thighs, calves, and glutes, the very muscles that help you stand, balance, and move with confidence. One large egg gives you about 6 grams of protein. But it's not just the amount, it's the type. Egg protein is considered a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need to repair and grow. So whether you like them scrambled, boiled, or in a veggie-packed omelet, adding a couple of eggs to your morning routine can make a real difference in how your legs feel when you get up and start your day. And if you're worried about cholesterol, don't be. Studies now show that for most people, dietary cholesterol doesn't raise blood cholesterol the way we once thought. In fact, eggs can actually support brain health and eye health, too. So it's a win all around. Now, let's move to something a little more green. Spinach. Yep, Popeye was onto something after all. This leafy green is loaded with magnesium, and magnesium is a mineral that most people over 60 aren't getting nearly enough of. Why does that matter for your legs? Because magnesium plays a major role in muscle function. When you're low on it, muscles can cramp, feel weak, or even twitch. Sound familiar? What's beautiful about spinach is that it's so versatile. You can add it to smoothies, saute it with a bit of olive oil and garlic, or toss a handful into your scrambled eggs. 2 birds, 1 stone. Just a single cup of cooked spinach delivers almost 40% of your daily magnesium needs, and that's just the beginning. It also brings iron and vitamin K to the table, both of which are helpful for circulation and bone health. Good blood flow and strong bones, that's leg strength from every angle. Now, while we're on the topic of blood flow, because yes, circulation is a huge part of leg strength, let's talk about a sweet little fruit you might not expect to do so much heavy lifting. Beets. These earthy roots are rich in nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. That might sound like science class all over again, but here's the deal. Nitric oxide helps your blood vessels relax and widen, which improves circulation. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients get to your leg muscles, helping them work more efficiently and recover faster. And here's the kicker. One study found that drinking beet juice actually improved walking distance in older adults with leg weakness. We're not talking miles, but even an extra block or 2 without stopping can feel like a victory when your legs aren't what they used to be. If you're not a fan of beet juice, and trust me, it's an acquired taste, you can roast them, slice them into a salad, or blend a small amount into a fruit smoothie to mellow out the flavor. However you get them in, just know you're giving your legs the kind of boost they quietly crave. So, to recap without sounding like a list, we've already looked at how eggs fuel your muscles with protein, how spinach delivers crucial magnesium for muscle function, and how beets open up your blood vessels for better performance and stamina. All from your kitchen. No pills, no complicated routines, just real food doing what was always meant to do, nourish your body and keep you strong. But we're just getting started. Because while these 3 foods are powerful on their own, the next few we're going to explore work on a whole different level, tackling inflammation, bone strength, and long-term resilience. And if your legs have ever felt achy, heavy, or like they're just not cooperating the way they used to, you're going to want to hear what's next. Because if you've ever felt like your legs were just tired, even after a good night's sleep, there's a good chance inflammation is playing a quiet but powerful role. And when inflammation sticks around, it can wear down your muscles, stiffen your joints, and make movement feel more like a chore than a joy. So let's bring in a little powerhouse that's been fighting inflammation since ancient times, salmon. If you enjoy seafood, even just once or twice a week, salmon can be one of the best choices you make for your legs. Why? Because it's packed with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, which are known for their anti-inflammatory benefits. But here's where it gets interesting. Omega-3s don't just reduce swelling. They actually help preserve muscle mass as you age. That means when you eat salmon, you're not only easing joint pain, you're actively helping your legs stay stronger for longer. And it's not about fancy recipes or complicated cooking either. A fillet of salmon lightly seasoned with lemon and herbs, roasted in the oven for 20 minutes. That's it. Delicious, satisfying, and your legs will thank you for it. And if salmon's not your thing, there are options like sardines, mackerel, or even high-quality fish oil supplements. But when it comes to getting a full meal out of your food, nothing beats a plate of warm, flaky salmon with some greens on the side. Now, while we're talking about inflammation, there's another food that often gets overlooked, mostly because it's a spice, not a whole meal. But don't let its size fool you. I'm talking about turmeric. You might recognize it as that bright yellow powder tucked away in your spice rack, or maybe you've seen it in golden milk teas or supplement aisles. But the real magic in turmeric comes from a compound called curcumin. And curcumin is like a fire extinguisher for inflammation in your body. When your legs feel achy for no clear reason, or when stiffness settles in first thing in the morning, that's often inflammation at work. A little turmeric in your daily routine can help calm that down, making your legs feel lighter, looser, and more willing to move. You can sprinkle turmeric into soups, stews, or even your scrambled eggs. Just don't forget to pair it with a pinch of black pepper. That's the key to helping your body absorb curcumin properly. And over time, that simple addition to your meals can go a long way in helping you stay on your feet longer and with less discomfort. Now, let's switch gears for a moment and talk about something many people skip, but really shouldn't: Greek yogurt. It might seem like a basic snack, but when it comes to keeping your legs strong, this creamy treat punches way above its weight. Greek yogurt is rich in calcium, which you probably already know is important for bone strength. But here's what makes it special. It also contains a good dose of protein and probiotics. That combination not only supports muscle and bone health, but also helps with digestion, which, believe it or not, affects how well your body absorbs all the other nutrients you're giving it. And when it comes to leg health, bones matter just as much as muscles. Weak bones lead to fractures, slips, and long recoveries. By making sure you're getting enough calcium, especially from food sources like Greek yogurt, you're building a solid foundation, literally, from the ground up. Now, you don't have to eat it plain if that's not your thing. Mix it with fresh berries, a drizzle of honey, or even a bit of cinnamon for a delicious treat that doubles as leg fuel. And it's an easy habit to stick with. Just a few spoonfuls a day can make a real difference over time. As we go deeper into this topic, you might be realizing something important. It's not about making huge changes overnight. It's about small, consistent choices that add up. Adding a cup of spinach here, a serving of yogurt there, replacing one dinner a week with salmon instead of processed meat. It's manageable, it's doable, and it puts you back in the driver's seat when it comes to your health. So far, we've talked about foods that support muscle strength, reduce inflammation, and strengthen bones. But there's one more piece of the puzzle that many people miss: hydration. You see, your muscles are made up of around 75% water. And when you're not hydrated, they don't work the way they should. You might feel sluggish, crampy, or just off. But plain water isn't the only way to stay hydrated and support your legs. Certain fruits do double duty, keeping you hydrated while delivering key nutrients that your legs love. Take watermelon, for example. It's refreshing, it's sweet, and it's more than 90% water. But it also contains potassium and a little-known amino acid called L-citrulline, which can help improve blood flow and reduce muscle soreness. A couple of slices on a warm afternoon might seem like a treat, but it's also a gentle way to help your legs recover and recharge. If you prefer something a little less sweet, cucumbers and oranges offer similar benefits: hydration, vitamins, and a bit of potassium to help with muscle contraction. The key is to stay consistent. One day of good eating won't fix weak legs, but 1 week, 1 month, you'd be surprised at how quickly your body can respond when you start feeding it what it really needs. You got the power to change how your legs feel, how they carry you through your day. And it doesn't require some trendy diet or fancy gym equipment. It starts in your kitchen, with foods that taste good and actually help you feel better. Foods that support you instead of holding you back. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? The idea that your legs, those same ones that may have been giving you trouble lately, can actually bounce back, not through magic, not through some expensive treatment, but by fueling them with the right foods day by day. Now, earlier we talked about protein, magnesium, omega-3s, calcium, and hydration, all big players in keeping your legs strong and steady. But we haven't touched yet on something equally important: your nerves, because it's not just the muscles and bones that matter. It's also about whether your brain is properly communicating with those muscles to help you walk, bend, and balance without feeling wobbly. So let's bring in something small, sweet, and incredibly effective: blueberries. You probably heard they're good for your brain, and it's true. Blueberries are loaded with antioxidants that help reduce something called oxidative stress, which is a fancy way of saying to help calm the invisible rust that builds up in your body over time. Why is that important? Because oxidative stress can interfere with the way your nerves communicate with your muscles. That little delay, milliseconds really, can be the difference between catching your balance or taking a fall. Blueberries support brain health, but more importantly for today's topic, they help your neuromuscular connection, the signals that travel from your brain to your legs and back again. And they're easy to add to your life. Toss them in oatmeal, blend them in a smoothie, or just enjoy them by the handful. Frozen or fresh, it doesn't matter. They still pack the same punch. And they taste good, too. That's a bonus, right? Now, let's pause here a second and really think about what's at stake. Weak legs aren't just a nuisance. They're often the first warning sign of losing independence, struggling to get out of a chair, hesitating at the top of the stairs, avoiding walks because you're afraid of tripping. These aren't small things. They impact your confidence, your freedom, your joy, but you're not powerless here. In fact, the next food we're about to talk about has been quietly supporting mobility for generations. It's not flashy. It doesn't show up in trendy health blogs, but it works. Let's talk about lentil. These little legumes are rich in plant-based protein, sure, but their secret weapon is folate and iron. Folate helps your body produce red blood cells, which carry oxygen to your muscles. And iron? It's like the delivery truck that gets the oxygen where it needs to go. When your body is low in iron, you may feel tired, heavy, or dizzy, and your legs can feel like lead, even if you haven't done much that day. That's why lentils are such a valuable food to have on your side. They give your body the building blocks it needs to keep your muscles energized and oxygenated. And the best part? They're affordable, easy to cook, and can be used in all sorts of dishes: soups, stews, or even cold in a salad. Plus, they're kind to your digestion, and they help stabilize your blood sugar, something a lot of us have to keep an eye on after 60. You don't need to make lentils your entire meal. Even half a cup a few times a week can start to shift things inside your body in a way you'll actually feel, especially in your legs. Now, at this point, you might be wondering, do I have to eat all 7 of these foods every single day to make a difference? Not at all. Think of it like this: your legs are like a team. You don't need every player on the field at the same time, but you do need each one to show up consistently. Some days you'll fuel them with salmon and spinach. Other days it might be yogurt and berries. The key is consistency, not perfection. And while food is powerful, there's one more piece that brings it all together. Something you've likely done without even realizing its full benefit: standing up. I know that sounds too simple, but standing up multiple times a day with purpose sends a message to your body. These legs still work. These muscles still matter. It's not about doing squats or lifting weights, unless you enjoy those things. It's about engaging your legs regularly, so they don't get the idea that they're no longer needed. So here's a little idea. Every time you eat one of the foods we've talked about today, use it as a reminder to stand for a moment, stretch a bit, or take a slow walk around your home. Combine good food with a little movement, and you'll be reinforcing the very strength you're trying to preserve. Because here's the truth, your body still listens, your muscles still respond, and your legs, even if they felt weak or unsteady lately, they're still capable of getting stronger. All they need is the right fuel and a little encouragement from you. You're not too old, it's not too late, and no, it's not just aging. Weak legs don't have to be your future. They can be your comeback story. And that brings us to the last food on our list. It's humble, it's inexpensive, and most people walk right past it in the grocery store without realizing the strength it holds: sweet potatoes. Now hang on, don't think of them as just a holiday side dish buried in marshmallows. Think of them as one of the most leg-loving foods you can keep in your kitchen. Sweet potatoes are packed with potassium, fiber, vitamin A, and complex carbohydrates, the kind that give you slow-burning energy throughout the day, without the crash. You know that dragging, low-energy feeling you get in your legs by mid-afternoon? That "I just don't have it in me today" heaviness? Often it's not age, it's low fuel. Your body needs real, clean carbohydrates to power your muscles, and sweet potatoes do exactly that. They help restore glycogen in your muscles, especially after light activity, like walking or stretching. That means less soreness and more pep in your step, even the day after. And you don't have to do anything fancy. Bake them whole, mash them up with a little olive oil and cinnamon, or dice and roast them into crispy little cubes. However you make them, your legs will notice the difference, even if it's subtle at first. Now, let's take a breath here. We've gone through a lot together in this video. Eggs, spinach, beets, salmon, turmeric, Greek yogurt, blueberries, lentils, watermelon, sweet potatoes. These aren't exotic superfoods. They're just real foods with real benefits, working quietly in the background to help your legs stay strong, mobile, and dependable. And here's what I really want to leave you with today. Not just a list of ingredients, but a shift in mindset. Every time you choose one of these foods, you're telling your body, "I still care, I still want to move, I still want to live fully." You're not just eating, you're investing in your balance, in your energy, in the freedom to walk to your mailbox without worry, to climb the stairs without bracing yourself, to get down on the floor with your grandkids and get back up again. That's what this is all about. Because after 60, you've earned the right to feel good. You've earned the right to move through your day without pain holding you back. And yes, you can absolutely do something about it, starting right in your kitchen. So here's what I'd love for you to do. Try just one change this week. Just one. Maybe it's adding spinach to your eggs. Maybe it's choosing lentils instead of white rice for dinner. Maybe it's just swapping out a sugary snack for a handful of blueberries. One little shift. That's all it takes to get the ball rolling. And while you're at it, listen to your body. Not just when it hurts, but when it feels good, too. When your legs carry you a little farther than they did last week, celebrate that. When you feel a little steadier getting up from the couch, notice it. Those small victories are signs that you're headed in the right direction. And don't keep this to yourself. If you've learned something new today, something that gave you a spark of hope or a fresh idea, share it. Leave a comment below and let us know what you're trying or what's worked for you. You might just inspire someone else who's been feeling the same way. And if this video helped you at all, take a second to click like. It really does help get this message to more people who need it. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we've got more helpful, heart-centered content coming your way. This channel is here for you, to support you, to remind you that life after 60 is not about decline. It's about redesign, reclaiming your health, your joy, and your strength, starting from the ground up. So the next time your legs feel a little tired, don't get discouraged. Just remember what you've learned here today. You've got tools, you've got knowledge, and most importantly, you've got control. Here's to standing tall, walking strong, and living your best life at any age. You've got this.